Alright guys, so we're walking on the trail. I'm pretty much where we are, where the camera's set up right now. Logan spotted this frog.
That's a toad.
Yeah, you're right, it's a toad.
And as you can tell, a toad has these two bumps on the side of his head.
Yeah.
One there, one there.
Actually, that's called an American toad. Do you know that? You know how you tell it's American?
How do you know?
Listen to his accent.
Oh God.
So you want to tell these people about how you caught it?
So anyway, I was right here, and I was walking, and all I hear is this on the floor. So I'm wondering, I just be quiet. I dropped the bag on the floor. I dropped it on the floor, and all I see, because I hear it, and then the leaves are moving over there. So I looked over. All I see is this tiny little rock. It kind of looks like a little rock, but then it blinked. So look, it was like a frog eye. So I ran up to it and dove onto the ground, grabbed it, and yeah.
Go over there and point to where you picked it up, just so the people could see at home.
Right here.
So Logan spotted that from about 25 feet away in leaf litter under a stick. That's pretty impressive, dude. You want to release him?
Yeah, I'm gonna release him.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, there he goes.
Take a look at this here. We've got
Lobster mushroom.
one lobster mushroom growing here. We got another one.
Another one
right here.
Another one right here.
And another one right here. They all got some kind of black mold on them. So we're gonna leave them. But it was a cool find. Oh, there's another two. One there, one there, one there, one there. There's four. Lobsters all over the place here. I'm kind of curious to see how this forest kind of held up after we had that pretty bad storm just earlier last week. We got a lot of fallen trees here. Yeah. We got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll give you a look at that in a second here when we turn around. A lot of fallen trees. Forest took a beating here. Here, have a look. We got one guy down here. Looks like it broke off the top of something. We got this big guy here who looks like it was already dead, but it's now down. We got that big beech right behind it. It's down, and that was alive. That had leaves on it. I don't know if you can see all the way down there, but that had leaves on it. That guy's down. And then turn over here. This guy's bent completely over because another big branch fell on it. And we got a whole bunch down all over there. Some more over there. We'll just have to keep our eyes open, make sure nothing falls on our heads while we're cooking lunch. Alright, so we found our spot. Woo. It is humid like crazy today, but whole purpose we're out here today is just to cook. We're hungry, we want some lunch, and we like to get out in the woods and cook some food. So we're gonna cook some chicken legs today. Logan picked the spice. We got some raspberries, fresh raspberries to nibble on.
Like these, they're really fresh though.
And our big bottle of water here. So let's go ahead, collect our resources, and get ready for a fire. You know, there's often that you hear that debate, what to use, a chopper or a saw. And I'm throwing axes in along with this machete as well. Which one do you think is better? Which one do you think is this? Which one do you think is that? In this case, I brought along my Baco Laplander. It is kind of getting on in age. It's still pretty sharp though. Like, I mean, you don't want this dragging across your skin, that's for sure. But normally I would go to a saw to chop up something that size, you know, wrist size bigger or bigger. But today, with 15 or 20 strokes going back and forth compared to 4 swings with this, I'll do the 4 swings. I'm not in a survival situation and I don't hear any of that, so that's not what this is about. But it really is just about getting work done easier. And so when people are talking about or having the debate over which is better, a saw or an axe or a machete or whatever it is, really what it comes down to is situation. That's it. Sorry guys, we are actually going to make our first fire with this thing today. I've done a lot of scraping on it, but this is the one that Nathan 4071 sent me, and I'm going to dedicate this first fire to Nathan. So Nathan, this one's first for you, and we're not going to cheat at all today. No birch bark, no pine sap, no fat wood. We're just going to use straight up hemlock twigs. So we'll plant these guys right in here, and
This spark's crazy.
now, I know I've shown you the ferro rod already, but I've also made a handle for it. I am going to adjust this handle. I find it's still a little bit too fat for me. I want to make it a little bit smaller, the handle. But I was hoping to have enough room on it, so when I'm every time I make up my fires, I can burn it into the whole set. So I'll know how many fires I've made by each little thing. So once this fire is done, and when I get home later on today, I'm going to burn an end in here for Nathan, because this fire is dedicated to him. All right.
Oh man, that was close.
Ooh, humidity's high. It's going to be tough today.
Fire.
There we go. Oh, it went up.
Oh, no, that sucks. Fire.
There we go.
That's like a steam engine. All the steam that's well, smoke.
Now, yes, this may be a little overkill, but the cool thing about this is I'm going to be able to make many thousand fires with this, I'm sure. Quite like that one there. I don't know how many strikes it took me, but that's
It took like 3 strikes.
that's like, oh well, no, we'll say it was under 10 for sure, but I didn't count them. We'll have to go back and check later. I'll put the number here after. But what do you think about how many strikes it takes to get a fire going? And usually I'm within 3. So if I was going to use something that was a little bit easier to ignite, like birch bark, it probably would have been 1. Actually, let's test that. All right. So we got a nice little bundle of birch bark here. We're going to set it right up on this log. Let's give it a try and see. Two strikes. Now, I've tried many different strikers for ferro rods, anywhere from the back of my knife to ceramic, to child scissors, saw blades, hacksaw blades, everything. And so far, these high-speed steel strikers, I believe that's what Nathan calls them, to me, I think are the best too. And they strike like crazy. Like, I mean, check this out. This is just nuts. I've never seen anything scrape ferro rods like that does, and it keeps it nice and clean too. You don't get that much chatter in your thing. When I was testing out this ferro rod, I was testing it with the Garberg, and what I've noticed is, I'll show you a spot here. Right here, you'll see, whoops, it's nice and smooth, and I scraped that with this. But when I scrape with stainless steel, I tend to get this chatter all the time. Now, I don't know if that's just a coincidence. I want to reach out to you guys out there and see if you guys have had the same kind of issue. Now, the one thing I will say is the only two strikers I've ever used that caused me that kind of issue was my Schrade knife, which is a type of stainless steel, and my Garberg. And both of them have amazing. Both of them have amazing strikers, or work well for as a striker for ferrocerium rods. But they are the only two that I own that actually cause that kind of chatter on there. But if you get a chance to get your hands on one of these guys and put your own handle on it, it is absolutely an absolute great striker that you could use, and it makes kind of a nice looking set too. I think that'll be pretty cool once that's all got their marks in there for every fire that I've done with them, until I can fill them up, and we'll count them up and see how much is gone, and we'll have an idea of how many fires we could actually get out of one of these bad boys. This will be number 1, and it'll be marked with an N, dedicated to Nathan 4071. Okay, so we're gonna roll up these guys here, let those guys burn, do their thing, and then as we need them, we're gonna pull them down under the grill once I place the grill. So we're gonna pull that out now, get it set up, and then we'll season up our chicken. Logan picked the spice today, so we're gonna be using Clubhouse La Grill Hawaii wood fire barbecue. Let's see how this tastes. Well, it smells really good anyway.
Can I have a smell after?
Yep. Make sure we get it all. I'll try not to sweat all over our lunch.
Oh man. Oh man.
Where are we going to put that last one?
Right along, yeah, right there.
Alright, we got a little bit too much flame here. Let's spread that out. Let that burn up. We don't want to burn our chicken. We just want to cook it. Get the coals in there. Get the fire out. So, alright, here we go with our chicken. It is kind of burnt on the outside. Or on one side anyway. The other side's pretty good. There we go. Really juicy. Perfectly cooked. Right to the bone. Cheers. How you doing there, buddy? You struggling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eat what you can. Sorry, guys. Lunch is done. So we're kind of like in between the car and the camp. We're about halfway. So we're gonna continue on down this way, see if we can have a quick look at the camp to make sure everything held up after that storm. Because there was one tree that had a crack in it where I hung my hammock. I want to make sure that it's still a safe area to hang out. So we're gonna go take a quick look at that, and then we're gonna head on back towards the car. So let's go take a look. Alright, so we've arrived at camp. This is the tree I was concerned about. Maybe you can see this crack here. See that? It looks like it's going to snap right off the middle, but it seems pretty sturdy and the tree's still alive. You can see all the way up there. See? Now, in case any of you were wondering about that plastic water bottle under there, we actually keep that here for fire management. Right down this hill, straight over here, there's a little creek down at the bottom. We fill that up with water, and we don't drink it, but we use it to put out our fire when so we don't have to use our own drinking water. So I leave that there tucked under the bench, and when I decide to leave this area for good, I'll take it with me, or if it ends up becoming in bad shape, I'll get rid of it. But here, check this out. We got some
Oyster mushrooms.
some beautiful oyster mushrooms, but we found them growing in a strange spot. Check this out. I don't know if you remember that bushcraft chair, but take a look. Got oysters growing all over it. Oysters, and then some turkey tail. Sorry guys, thanks a lot for watching and joining us for lunch. We'll see you again soon. You guys get out and explore. I can't believe I just dabbed. Well, because the last frog that Logan found was just so big, he wanted to challenge himself, and he went for something a little smaller.
I almost stepped on him, actually.
Little baby toad. There we go. And for Nathan. I know it's a little small, but I'm hoping this will be like the handle of fame, and I'll be able to put a lot of awesome dudes on this guy. So there's N for Nathan.